Anger is a primal force within human nature, powerful yet deeply destructive. In moments of rage, we lose control, and our words or actions often become weapons that wound others and ourselves. Yet, unlike a visible fire, anger burns silently within, slowly consuming our health, our relationships, and the serenity of our souls. It is no exaggeration to call anger a silent assassin, an unseen force dismantling the very fabric of our well-being. In Buddhism, anger is seen as one of the three poisons, alongside greed and ignorance, that perpetuate suffering and trap beings in the endless cycle of rebirth, samsara. The Buddha likened anger to clutching a burning coal with the intent of hurling it at another. A vivid metaphor underscoring the self-inflicted pain of holding on to rage. It poisons the mind, clouds judgment, and severs us from peace, leaving only regret in its wake. Yet the Buddha's teachings offer hope, a path not just to suppress anger, but to transform it. Buddhism doesn't call for repressing emotions. Instead, it invites us to explore their roots and use wisdom to navigate their depths. Anger, when understood, becomes a gateway to profound inner freedom. This article will explore the nature of anger, how it stealthily harms us, why it's one of the most insidious obstacles to enlightenment, and how Buddhist practices can help us disarm it. Through this journey, we'll uncover ways to cultivate mindfulness, empathy, and equanimity, transforming anger into a source of insight and peace, not just for ourselves but for the world around us. Let us explore how our Buddha transcended anger and faced insults with unwavering calmness through the following story. The story of the Buddha and the angry farmer. One day, the Buddha was traveling through a village and decided to rest under the shade of a tree. A farmer from the village, furious because his family had abandoned their farm work to listen to the Buddha's teachings, stormed up to him and began shouting harsh insults. The farmer said, "You're nothing but a lazy beggar. You live off the hard work of others and destroy families with your teachings. My family has stopped tending to the fields because of you." The Buddha sat calmly, his expression serene and compassionate. He let the farmer finish his tirade without interruption. When the farmer finally fell silent, the Buddha gently asked, "My friend, if someone offers a gift to another, but the other person chooses not to accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The farmer, confused by this unexpected question, replied, "Well, it would still belong to the one who offered it." The Buddha smiled and said, "Exactly. In the same way, the anger and insults you have offered to me, since I do not accept them, remain with you. They belong to you, not to me. I choose not to carry them." The farmer stood still, stunned and speechless. He realized that his anger had not harmed the Buddha in the slightest. Instead, it had only deepened his own suffering. Overwhelmed with this insight, he lowered his head, apologized to the Buddha, and walked away in silence. The farmer's realization that his anger harmed only himself marked a turning point. This moment of clarity dissolved resentment, replacing it with understanding and peace. Anger often hides in plain sight, subtly manifesting as irritation, resentment, or bitterness. These quiet forms of anger seep into our thoughts and actions, distorting reality and damaging relationships. Like a hidden predator, anger silently poisons our perspective, creating stress, division, and even physical ailments. Recognizing this insidious force is the first step toward freeing ourselves from its grip. The root causes of anger. 1. Attachment to the ego. One of the core causes of anger lies in an overinflated ego. When we become too attached to our sense of self, we are easily hurt by criticism or the actions of others. Any perceived attack on our pride or identity triggers anger as a defensive response. The larger our ego, the more vulnerable we become to feelings of disrespect or rejection, which fan the flames of our inner rage. 2. Unmet expectations. Anger often arises when reality fails to meet our expectations. The gap between what we desire and what actually happens creates frustration, which can quickly morph into anger. The higher our expectations, the greater the disparity, and the more intense the emotional reaction. This is a sign of our struggle to accept reality as it is, driven by clinging to personal desires. 3. Environmental and situational stress. External pressures, such as work stress, family conflicts, or living in a tense environment, can disrupt our emotional equilibrium, leaving us more prone to anger. When our surroundings don't support inner peace, even small triggers can spark disproportionate reactions, making us lose control over our emotions. 4. Habitual negative thinking. Persistent negative thoughts, self-blame, or a tendency to place blame on others create fertile ground for anger to take root. Those who frequently dwell on pessimistic ideas are more susceptible to emotional outbursts, reacting intensely to adversity. This habit not only causes inner turmoil but also radiates negativity, affecting everyone around them. The consequences of anger. 1. Damage to mental and physical health. Prolonged anger is a silent saboteur of health. It leads to chronic stress, anxiety, and severe health issues like hypertension, heart disease, and sleep disorders. This emotional poison seeps into both the mind and body, becoming a root cause of numerous psychological and physiological ailments. 2. Breakdown of relationships. Anger often drives us to speak harsh words or act impulsively, inflicting pain on loved ones. Over time, these unchecked outbursts can fracture important relationships, leaving a trail of hurt and estrangement that may be difficult to mend. 3. Impaired decision-making. When anger takes hold, our capacity for rational thinking and sound judgment diminishes significantly. Decisions made in the heat of anger are often rash and misguided, resulting in lasting consequences that could have been avoided with a calmer mind. 4. Spreading negative energy. Anger is contagious. It not only disrupts your inner peace but also radiates negativity to those around you, creating a tense and suffocating environment. This ripple effect can impact workplaces, families, and communities, spreading unease and conflict. 5. Hindrance to personal growth. A mind consumed by anger cannot focus on learning, self-improvement, or seeking happiness. Anger traps us in a cycle of negativity, hindering our path toward growth, enlightenment, and peace. It becomes a barrier to self-discovery and fulfillment. Understanding the far-reaching effects of anger underscores the urgency of mastering it. Letting go of anger not only liberates us but also transforms our relationships, environment, and journey toward a happier, healthier life. How to dissolve anger in Buddhist practice. 1. Recognizing and understanding anger. Acknowledging its presence. The first step to resolving anger is to acknowledge its presence in our minds without judgment. Recognize the sensations, thoughts, and emotions it triggers. By naming the emotion, "This is anger," we bring it to light and start to take control, tracing its roots instead of reacting impulsively. Pause and reflect on the causes of your anger. Often, it stems from personal expectations, a wounded ego, or misunderstandings. Understanding its root helps us dismantle it from within. 2. Using wisdom to transcend anger. Impermanence. Anicca life is a constant flow of change. Nothing we experience is permanent. The reasons for our anger, no matter how intense they may feel in the moment, are like ripples on water, temporary and fleeting. Clinging to these emotions only deepens our attachment to illusions and traps us in suffering. The illusion of self, anatta. The root of anger lies in our mistaken belief in a solid, unchanging self. When we view life through the lens of non-self, we see that everything we perceive, what our eyes see, ears hear, or mind conceives, is a construct of conditions. These external circumstances lack inherent reality, much like scenes in a play. By recognizing this, we can let go of our attachment to the I that feels hurt or wronged. The nature of emptiness, sunyata, everything, including the objects of our anger, is empty of inherent existence. They are merely appearances arising from interconnected causes. Viewing life as a grand comedy of impermanence helps us see the futility of clinging to anger. Instead of getting caught up in the drama, we can focus on fulfilling our current roles with integrity and equanimity. Choose to end the cycle of cause and effect here. The way we immerse ourselves in the whirlpool of anger only serves to exhaust and deplete us. Instead, why not choose to let go? No matter which side of anger we find ourselves on, the wise choice is to put an end to it. Forgiving others is, in essence, forgiving ourselves. Life operates in this constant interplay of cause and effect. We are both the seed and the fruit of our actions. To give forgiveness and peace is to plant seeds that will endure, creating harmony that transcends the moment. Letting go is not just a release, it's a gift to ourselves and to the world. 3. Applying the Buddha's teachings. The story of the flickering lamp. Imagine someone has upset you, and you feel anger rising within. Picture a flickering lamp struggling against the wind. The wind doesn't blow to extinguish the lamp out of malice, it simply moves because it must. In the same way, people's actions are shaped by countless causes and conditions, not by a deliberate intent to harm you. Understanding this allows you to see beyond personal resentment and find compassion. The wisdom of the Dhammapada. Reflect on the verse. Hatred does not cease by hatred, hatred ceases only by love. This is an eternal law. Responding to anger with kindness is like steadying the flickering lamp with a protective shield. You not only calm the flame but also create light that dispels the darkness for yourself and others. 4. Living mindfully every moment. Mindful observation. Practice mindfulness not only during meditation but in every activity, walking, eating, speaking, or working. This constant awareness helps us catch anger before it spirals out of control. Monitoring your thoughts. Regularly check in with your mental state throughout the day. Are you harboring irritation, resentment, or judgment? Bring yourself back to the present moment and let go. Responding, not reacting, with mindfulness. You learn to pause before responding to triggers. This pause gives you the opportunity to choose peace over conflict. Anger is a silent enemy, capable of destroying both peace of mind and the harmony of relationships. Yet, it also presents a profound opportunity for growth and self-realization. By confronting and understanding our anger, we transform it from a destructive force into a teacher of compassion and wisdom. Let us commit to recognizing, mastering, and dissolving anger with mindfulness, love, and insight. Through such practices, we not only liberate ourselves but also contribute to the peace of the world around us. As the Buddha taught, when one is free from anger, they achieve victory not only over themselves but also bring peace to the world. Anger is a journey, a test of our patience, wisdom, and compassion. Each moment we face it, we have the power to either feed the flames or extinguish them with understanding. The path is not easy, but it is transformative, leading us closer to the peace and clarity we all seek. Remember, every small step you take toward letting go of anger is a step toward freedom, not just for yourself, but for everyone whose lives you touch. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of anger and its transcendence. I hope this journey has offered you insights and tools to approach life's challenges with greater mindfulness and love. Your presence here means so much, and I look forward to walking with you again on the path to understanding and inner peace. Until next time. Take care and may kindness guide your way.